I'm using the computer now. I don't actually game on it. I game on. It's still gaming on the older one with the less substantial video card. But I have been doing the audio work on it. It's
Right,
much faster.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 64 gigs of RAM, so.
All right.
Yeah.
We're back.
Right on. We're back live too.
Yeah, we're
on,
live.
YouTube.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
What's up, guys, girls?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, we're just talking about how our power going out, like how Rio's having problems with his electrical in New York, and having problems with mine here in Maui. And there's no explanation for it either. It's not like there's a big storm. You know what I mean? It's not like that. You just find your computer turned off when you get home and the power gone out. You have to reset the microwave or something, or maybe you're home when it happens. And it's like, well, what's that about? You know? And I happen to work in utilities, right? So I know a lot of people in this business, and it's not something that they're really aware of what the rationale is either. So you do have to wonder if it's a conditioning program. We were talking about that while we were gone, to get us used to rationing our power, right? Because the whole concept of NEOM was that you'd be in the smart city, but they would flash your home with LEDs, red or blue, depending on how green compliant you were for the day. Right. So if it was blue, you're doing good, and to get more red is the worse you got. Right.
Well, isn't that the whole smart meter thing? Like, and I got to
you into compliance. Yeah.
I got to say, I'm proud of my neighbors. I live in like an area, you know, we're fairly close together, and it's a little neighborhood, maybe 50 houses here, and then there's another neighborhood a little farther over, and of course, the local power company started, with the smart meter rollout. And every single one of my neighbors, I think everyone in this entire development said no to the smart meters. And they charge us a premium for it. I have to pay $15 a month extra for the privilege of not having a smart meter. But my smart meter is actually like where it would be. My power meter is exactly on the other side of the wall where I sit in front of the computer. And I don't want it there. And it's also directly a few feet from where I sleep. So I don't want this thing going all the time. And my neighbor's meter is on the same side. So even if they got one, it would be on that same side of the house. And the neighbor on the other side, theirs is on the other side of their house. But, the point is it's not like everybody around me is hip to the fact that smart meters are bad. And they haven't installed a single one in our neighborhood. Now, we've been paying this premium for not having the smart meters installed for about a year and a half now. And I don't think there are any in my neighborhood yet. Like they've just not even bothered to try to roll it out here because nobody wants it. And, which is really surprising, especially being in New York and in a democratic state, and where they, there's a lot of liberalism here and a lot of push for the new tech, but we're not in a smart meter community, which is kind of neat.
It's the second most powerful signal in an average household. So like the most powerful signal, if you own an Xbox, is your Xbox, even if it's turned off. It's the most powerful Wi-Fi signal there is, and then the second most is smart meter. Yeah. And the thing is, like, even the people who use it, like the companies I've worked for, where they have it for their facilities and that kind of thing, they don't even use it that much, man. They don't get the data logging stuff that you're supposed to get for it. They don't even use that. So what's the real benefit? I mean, the only benefit really is that it makes it easier for people to not have to fight the dog or whatever to read the meter. But we got by a fine for 100 years without it. So. Well, you really need it.
Well, the idea is they figure they can save labor because they don't actually have to send a guy down the street to walk around the neighborhood, right? So that $15 a month premium that we pay is to pay the guy's salary who drives the van and comes and walks up and looks at the meter and writes down the number. That's what they tell you it's for.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. So I know enough about it to know this. It doesn't work that way all the time. So they still have to send a guy out. So what happens is that they sometimes the link's good and they get it. Other times it isn't. So if the customer doesn't get it, then they wonder if it's an industrial facility, why they're not getting the data they want. But then if it is working, right, So they'll fix those ones. But for a private community, a person like you or I or a household, what they'll do is they'll send a guy up the street to get so the data link may not be good 3 blocks away, and it doesn't go to the company automatically. So he has to still drive to the neighborhood or she and get the data, and they still have to link it up that way. So it's not that efficient, really. I mean, eventually it may get there, but which is where the whole 5G thing comes in, where they'll be every couple hundred feet. So then it will work, you know.
Well, the interesting difference is that where my family is in Texas, it's a reasonably new neighborhood. It was, built over the last couple of years, like literally. And everything there is smart meter, the electric meters, the gas meters, the water meters, everything is it's an all-inclusive smart meter. And, they do work on that function. And my mother has even noticed that the plants in the garden don't grow around the smart meter, and it's kind of like they grow in the backyard just fine. They grow in the front of the house just fine, but they don't grow in that little like 6-foot radius right around where the meter is. And she asked me about it. She says, yeah, it's really weird. Like on the one side of the house, none of the plants grow. And she says, maybe it's because of the sunshine or whatever. I said, no, it's not the sunshine. It's because you got that meter there, like, pumping this radiation into them. That's why they're not growing. Yeah, and so, I mean, thankfully it's on the other side of the house from like their bedrooms and where they sleep, but it's right there. And it's like it's obvious. The plants don't grow within like 6 feet of the smart meter. The grass doesn't even look healthy right there. Yeah. So I'm glad that I decided not to, and I'm glad my neighbors have decided not to.
Sorry, I'm typing. I'm trying to type in the chat and talk at the same time. It didn't work though. Yeah, the thing is like you don't really know, right? Like so, unless you call the company, you don't really know if it's working.
You know what's funny is what happened to Epic? Are you still there? You know what's funny?
Here I was rambling away with mute on. It happened again earlier.
No, I heard you.
Yeah, no, I could hear you too. No, I was gonna say before you came on, when I was listening to Rio, I went and got my coffee, but when I came back, I was gonna say that here at my house, there's this whole thing where I live, there's a lot of ivy, like it's everywhere, and all of a sudden, the fucking ivy started dying, and I looked right by my mom's going, hey, the ivy's dying all over the place, and I'm like, what? And then I went and looked out by my house, like right next door to me, where there's a smart meter on the next door neighbor's house, and all the ivy is dead all the way up the hill. I swear to God, and it's just in this one spot. The rest of the ivy is fine. So it's where the smart meters are, the ivy's dead.
There's two things about that are really interesting. One is that the best block for 5G is water, especially salt water or any kind of radiation, really. But the next one for just standard transmissions, if you're in a neighborhood or whatever, is foliage. But the thing that can kill it is microwave radiation. So it's just interesting that they work together. And the other thing is, like, I'm not one of these 5G guys who just like, it's activating viruses or anything like that. I'm not going that route. I'm just telling you that, like the Germans did that study where there's no pollinated insects in these 5G fields, right? Where there's 5G going across the field, they don't go to that field. They go to the field next door, and the field would do great with the pollinated insects. But the ones that have those towers back in, last year or 2 years ago, that don't have it. Right. Well, it's not just 5G; it's just Wi-Fi in general. These microwave transmitters.
Well, it's funny, and I actually realized I had a mild sensitivity to this on my own, like just by chance. I use my cell phone in my car as my radio for the most part, which is probably not really great as it is. But I was connecting it to the car radio through Bluetooth, and I noticed that when I started doing that and I'm listening to, whatever I want on the radio, I'd get home because I drive like an hour. I get home and my ears would be ringing and I'm going, I mean, I know I have a little bit of tinnitus anyway, but like this was a whole different like buzzing kind of thing. And somebody said, "Oh, it's probably the Bluetooth." And I shut the Bluetooth on the phone and the car radio off. And thankfully, my phone is old enough. I still have a headphone jack, so I started using the headphone jack in the car for the phone. And I actually keep the phone on the car floor so that I have a little protection from like the trans tunnel and the seat and stuff for the direct radiation myself. And I use the cellular network because I figure I'm getting bombarded with that anyway for streaming, so might as well just do it that way. And the buzzing stopped. Like my ears got better, and it turns out that if I use Bluetooth devices for any given amount of time, then my ears start buzzing. So it does have an effect, and you can see it on the outside. And nature is like the greatest way to see it. The plants dying around the smart meters, or the grass not growing, or the bees and the hummingbirds staying away. How much more proof do you need that this stuff is no good? I mean, it's just like, the GMO corn versus the non-GMO corn. The squirrels won't eat the crappy corn. You could put two cobs side by side and they'll only eat the good one. There's a reason for that. Nature is smart enough to know to stay away from things that are toxic. Why aren't we?
I don't know, but I'm about to go dark, man. Now I'm going to be all red on the video, but I don't care, man. I would just light my face for the last 3 fucking hours.
So go dark,
Seriously.
I mean, actually, you still look fine on the video.
Well, man, I gotta say, man, that was one hell of a show, guys. I mean, I'm just saying, it was a good show, and I can't wait to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, it's funny. I listened to the one we did last week, like just listen to it as a listener from the other side, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, man. I mean, even though Epic didn't have no balls to his sound, I was telling him while you were picking up the phone, I go, let's see, last week, I said, Rio is all, I am Rio. And I go, you're over here, y'all.
Yeah.
I am Epic.
Because you were on that,
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I forget what it was. You were on a headset or something.
The Clash of the Titans thing going on. Yeah.
No, it just...
Interestingly for me, it's directly how close I am to the microphone. Like if I'm up on it like I am now,
No,
I sound a lot fuller. When I go back a few inches and turn the gain up, I sound really thin.
Last week he didn't have his apparatus though, so he was out of.
I was in the Big Island and I had my Bluetooth headphones in the car.
He has to. When he's on the Big Island, bro, he has to fucking go out in the car because the frogs are so loud that you can't hear. It sounds like, the pitch of those fire alarms, like
believe me, I don't have that now because we're moving into winter, but summertime when I have the basement windows open, that was one thing I always feared, even when we were doing the old show, is that when I had the windows open in the basement, like there's occasionally I'd get the cricket outside and it would drive me freaking nuts because it would be chirping away like for hours on end.
Oh no. Coqui frogs, man. Coqui frogs. They're as loud as a fire alarm. They're like 132 dB. They're huge.
Yeah,
tiny little frogs
we have
too.
We have the little spring peepers and the cicadas here. So when they start going, I mean, it's loud. I mean, it's really loud. Like even with the windows closed, sometimes at night I can't sleep because it's so loud.
I cannot stand those fucking...
I'm going to put it in the chat on YouTube here.
I cannot stand those cicadias, man. That sound. I mean, my buddy, one of
that
the... Yeah, man.
It's constant.
Yeah, I had this roommate who lived, with me, and then he moved to Las Vegas. This is a long time ago. I was like 18 years old, so I was just 18 years old, or I was 21 or something. It was something where I could just go to Vegas. Never been to Vegas before. My buddy moved there. And so this is before the new Vegas, right? This is like the old Vegas.
$1.99 steak and eggs, Vegas.
Yeah, man. Now I'm thinking of this guy, and I'm wondering if you maybe met the fucking guy. Now that I'm thinking about it.
I lived there for a long time.
Well, he had a 68. He had a 68 Camaro, blue 2-door. His name was Bill. What the fuck was his last name? I can't remember his last name. Anyways, when I went to Vegas, the one thing I remember that first visit was those fucking cicadias, man. And it was like 150 degrees outside. And those things were just going... And all you wanted to do is just get back in the fucking casino where it was cold. And the shit was flowing, man. Because that's when they used to give you shit for free. Back in the day. As long as you were drinking. As long as you were gambling, you were drinking.
Yeah, the girl used to come around with the sandwiches and the cocktails.
Yeah, man.
It was a freebie, right?
And you got
you know what's hilarious is like the Imperial Casino. They had these semi-hot waitresses that used to be back there back in the day. They're pretty hot. You know, the uniform was kind of hot. I'm sorry, I'm a guy. So for the girls who are listening, but you know, that was back in the 80s, and so you go there now, and it's the same girls. So now you have these old ladies running around the same outfits, and I don't know what that's a union thing or what that was, but it's just kind of funny because I think it's closing down if it didn't close down already. But the last time I was there, I lived there in the 90s, and then I went back, and it's like, wow, man, I remember you.
Man, it's like the Rio.
You know?
It was like the Rio Hotel was the place where all the hookers were, just off the strip.
I lived across the street from the Rio.
Did you? Well, yeah, man, the Rio. People stay there. And if you didn't stay there, you go gamble there.
I met Larry Flint at the Rio Hotel.
Did you? Well,
I sure
there's
did.
a
I won
reason.
$2,500. He had these two girls. He was in his wheelchair. He was playing nickel keno machine, and I was playing quarter keno machines. And we're talking, and he has this weird voice, you know, hey, how you doing over there, kind of thing, right? You know, and so he's got these two totally hot girls. I didn't recognize him at first, and I realized what was going on later. And so he's playing nickel keno machine. He's been there for like hours. And I started drinking, and I was playing there. It was my payday. I was playing nickel keno. I know I'd been there I was going to leave. I was about to move out of Vegas. I had the video store at the time, but I just started working, doing electrical work again at the time. So I was in this transition period. I'm like, I'm just going to bail out of Vegas. I don't need to be here anymore. And I didn't really gamble that much. How you doing over there? Right? It says that, man. My one quarter hits a $2,500 payday. Solid 9-spot and keno machine. And so I bought a truck, and I ended up staying there 2-3 more years. He says down payment.
There's a reason why they did the Real World at the Rio Hotel. So I was at the Rio one time, and I was sitting there, and I was just, I was playing dollar slots because we were there on work. And so they put us up there at the Rio Hotel. And so I'm sitting there, I'm playing dollar slots, and I hit a couple jackpots, And I'm just sitting there, man. I'm, pulling the handle, and I had a bunch of dollars, like, sitting in my tray. I'm just staying on the same machine. I'm just sitting there pulling the handle, just kicking back, watching everything. All of a sudden, this chick comes up to me. She goes, hey, what's happening? I go, oh, not much. So what are you up to? She goes, oh, not much. I'm just trying to make my rent. I go, well, how much is your rent? And she goes, $800. And I was like, damn. Good luck.
And you wonder how much money she's fed into that machine over time too, right? She probably spent thousands into that machine to try to make her $800.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's code for I'm a hooker, and it costs $800 to have sex with me.
See, so I'm not really hip on the Vegas lingo.
No,
so
and the thing is she could see the money that was in my area because it was in my tray. So all she has to do is go on the stroll up and down in there and see which lonely dude who's working, staying at the hotel, has got money in his tray.
And what's funny, like that happened to me at the Sahara before they tore the Sahara down. Sahara had a roller coaster. They had like the Daytona experience, with the NASCAR thing, and some other stuff in the casino, right? And I was playing. It's an old casino. It was moldy. I remember like the rooms were only like $49 because it was moldy. If you went in there, you smelled the mold from coming off the AC towers for the casino.
That's
the
rank.
The room was right there.
It's fucking rank, man.
Yeah, right. And they were about to tear it down. It was about a year before they tore it down. And so I'm playing. Now I'd lived there for 6 years. I was there for work. So I'm just there. I'm staying in the hotel. Actually, I think I was meeting my girlfriend at the time. She was gonna come over. And so I'm over there, and this prostitute girl comes up to me, and I'm not going to go into all elaborate details, but she comes up and starts making all these kind of like, innuendos, right? While I'm sitting there playing a slot machine, and I'm not winning, right? I'm not winning. And I'm like, well, no, that's okay, kind of thing. Yeah, you're pretty and all, but, I got a girlfriend and all that stuff, right? And the next thing I know, she's on the phone talking to her girlfriend who's also working the casino about how their techniques aren't working. You know what I mean? Like they have this whole rap going. Like this is this whole thing that they're trying to do. This is like this technique they use.
Yeah, man. It's like a sales pitch, like a telemarketing sales pitch. They just roll it out.
Right. It's like it's industrialized. It's not even like the oldest profession using your persona.
No.
See the whole the New York side of it. The New York City experience is much different. You'd be standing outside in front of a club or something, and they'll just walk up to you and say, "Hey, you looking for a good time?" And ask you like flat out. Like there was no beating around the bush to who was doing what.
Well, no, she got really crude. That's why I didn't say it on the air. She got really crude later on. Asked if I had a room, and then it went into all details. She'd do when we got in the room, and the thing was like. And then she's on the phone like, I can't believe it. I told this dude, blah, blah, blah. I could hear the phone conversation she's having. She was with the other girl, who's working girl there. It wasn't like her pimp, unless her pimp was a girl. I don't know. But, it was just strange to me to think that – it wasn't strange. It's kind of sad, right? Like this is the level that society's at, I guess, in a certain way there. It's not just there. It's a lot of places, obviously.
Man,
it's not called the world's profession for nothing.
You could get whole prime rib dinners for like – $1.99, man. That shit was like 3 inches thick, and everything wherever you went, wherever it was, the restaurants and shit, they all had red lights on them, man. 'Cause red makes you get the fuck out. I mean, if you have red and you're in a restaurant, you're getting the fuck out. If they got pink lights on your food, they put pink lights in there, you'll sit there all fucking day. Okay, it's totally psychological, and it was even back then. It's like they put red lights, red furniture, all the naga hide on all that shit was red.
The smell of the fake leather, yeah.
Or like this shit fucking
it's like they drive you out, right?
All you could eat or like all you could eat breakfast, it's like 50 cents. Damn. Those were the days.
How much one wing?
Yeah.
Chris Rock, right?
Yeah, man, no, seriously, those were the days, my friends, and they ain't coming back.
But you just fed like $300 and pulled the handle a couple times to get that free breakfast. So, how much did it really cost you in the end? That's how they did that.
Yeah, well, no, what they did was they got you in there for the free breakfast, and then there's a sucker born every minute, and then you'll walk out, and on your way out, you'll throw a quarter in a machine, and it'll ring as you're walking out the door, and then you'll spend your fucking rent. Next thing you know, you'll be sitting there going, "Hey, I'm just trying to make my rent."
So I'm bringing this up in the show. We were talking about people can't not answer the phone when it rings, right? And that's the whole principle behind gambling. It is not gambling, but slot machine gambling specifically. It is the sound is just like the phone call. It's designed that way on purpose. That you have to answer the call, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the machine chirps at you, you got to answer the machine. We're programmed to do that. We are programmed to do that. Literally programmed to do that.
All right. Well, you guys did a fantastic, outstanding, manly man job tonight, man. I mean, it was a great show. It's, I'd say, one of the greatest shows we've done all together. And I mean, not just all together, but I mean, just as the show. It was really a great show. Thank you both so much, man. I appreciate everything you guys did. You guys are fantastic. Rio, man. Welcome.
It's good to be back, man. I did kind of miss this.
Yeah. Welcome.
I mean, the time slot is rough, but I do enjoy it.
Welcome home, bruh. man, the three of us are gonna do some fucking kick out. I think we should let's do Studio 54 next week, dude. Let's do the 70s punk and the disco. You know what I mean? Because it's funny.
There's a lot there, so Robert Mapplethorpe, the gay photographer dude, wasn't just gay, he was bisexual. He lived with Patti Smythe, and they were friends of Andy Warhol. So there's this whole thing about how that New York scene of Studio 54 played into that, and these still enduring artistic venues of Patti Smythe and Mapplethorpe are still there, right? They endure to this day. And of course, Andy Warhol.
We definitely did a show on it in the past too.
Yeah.
What was the guy's name? I forget. The guy who owned the Studio 54.
Oh yeah, the cocaine dude. Yeah, I can't remember his name at the moment. Yeah. Did he get sent to jail for cocaine?
Well, the three of us will go nuts, man, because Epic fucking will do spiderweb chains off of all these people, man. It's gonna tie right back to watch it tie right back to Los Angeles.
Tie back, I guarantee.
You guarantee. Yeah. All right, hang on. I'm looking for some Patti Smythe. Hang on.
Because Tonight, written by Bruce Springsteen, but she made it famous.
Yep, Scandal.
No, not that one. Patti Smith Band.
That's Patti Smith. This is Patti Smythe.
Patti Smith Band is the one.
Oh, that's right. There's two of them.
Because Tonight, but it spelled the same way, wasn't it? I'm not positive of that, but yeah.
Yeah, they spelled it with a Y.
Yeah, that was Mapplethorpe's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who ended up being gay. He died of AIDS, right?
It's funny. Yeah, it's 50 Cent. I guess people got pissed at him because he voted for Trump. And he's like, I talked to Trump and I got you $500 million and you're busting my balls. He's like, have a good life, man. Fucking Ice Cube. It's just funny, man. All right, you guys.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen wrote this song.
Yeah. This is back when Bruce was stealing his shit from Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. So listen, you guys ready to get out? Because it's raining here. And it was.
It's all good, man. Good night to all the Micronauts out there.
It was raining hard in Frisco.
It's 5 a.m. It's almost time for me to jump in the shower and get ready to start the day.
Hold on a second, man. What was that song? Who did that song? Hang on, man. Let me see.
That was the perfect song right there. That was it.
No, man. This is a different song. This is It was raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. Lady up ahead, she waved me down.
That was Tom Waits, wasn't it?
She got in at the light. No, it's not. But it's somebody like that. I can't think of who it is. I can't even think of the name of the song.
I know exactly which song you're talking about, too.
I got to hear it right now because it's raining here. Fuck. I can't think of it. You know what it is? It's Harry Chapin.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's right.
It is. You're right. Hold on.
Died in the car crash, not a plane crash.
Hold on. Harry Chapin. That's another show we should do again. Like, I don't think we...
All the crashes?
I think we talked about doing it, but we never did it, which was all the people that died in crashes, like every plane crash. Hold on a second here. Here it is.
Harry Chapin and what's his face from Time in a Bottle, Jim Croce. They died in
Jim Croce, and of course Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Well, here you go.
Probably, man. There's a pretty good story behind that.
This is the one right here.
It's the truth.
This is the one, I'm telling you. Hold on.
Paul is dead.
There's a commercial. Hold on. You can play this shit as long as it's live.
It was raining hard in Frisco.
This dude's a freak, man. You should see him. He looks weird. Hold on.
He's like the Jolly Green Giant without the green pigment.
He's a weird looking fucker, man. I'll tell you that. Okay, here it comes.
It was raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. A lady up ahead waved to flag me down. She got in at the light. Oh, where you going to, my lady blue? It's a shame you ruined your gown in the rain. She just looked out the window. She said 16 Parkside Lane.
So this is the part where the dude, he like recognizes her, but she don't know it's him.
Was familiar. I could swear I've seen her face before, but she said, I'm sure you're mistaken, and she didn't say anything more. It took a while, but she looked in the mirror. Then she glanced at the license for my name. A smile seemed to come to her slowly. It was a sad smile just the same. And she said, how are you, Harry? I said, how are you, Sue? Through the too many miles and the too little smiles, I still remember you.
All right, you guys. Time
That's
to.
the poetry aspect. See, this is aspect of the Beat Generation thing, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, we need to get into that.
Yeah, we should.
Profound.
All right. Well, let's get out of here now. I gotta go. I'm just gonna hang up on you guys, okay? I gotta go. I gotta go. No, I gotta run to the house right now. I gotta go use the restroom. So, thanks so much. Like I said, thanks again, and I'll see you, everybody. Thanks again. See ya.